ElectroMeds.avi.
And they also increase cellular metabolism so that you actually get rid of rid of carbon dioxide and water out of the cell much easier with exposure to the magnetic field. There are many principles of treatment with magnetic fields. One of those is using local therapy and treating the area where there's a problem. Another one is to think in terms of acupuncture principles. A third one is to think in terms of a whole body exposure. So if you expose the whole body, you begin to create a cascade in the body that then is very active throughout the whole body. Or you can actually treat specific, what we call spinal segments. Along the spine, the brain, you will activate organs at different locations in the body based on that. There has been a fair bit of research clinically on pulse magnetic fields in Eastern Europe, and Karen alluded to that book that I co-authored, where we had a review of about 343 studies that included about 130 studies on medical conditions, 70 surgical studies, and then there were a number of studies that dealt with basic science. Some of the studies that have been done in humans include looking at improvement or clinical treatment of atherosclerosis, ischemic heart disease like angina, chronic bronchitis including asthma,
Quantron resonance systems,
fractures, burns, wound healing, carpal tunnel syndrome, endometriosis, corneal problems, and the ability to produce improvements in clotting. From all that research, over 30 years of research done in Eastern Europe, what we've done is we have come up with some concepts about what magnetic fields do. And if you're writing, these are things that you need to write down. Now, I unfortunately may be going a little fast for you, but just try to bear with me. One is vasodilatation, opening blood vessels. When you open blood vessels, you cause increased circulation to tissue, and that by itself is usually very healing. There's a direct action on nerves in reducing nerve cell firing, but there's also stimulatory action or stimulating action on nerves. And some research has actually shown that when nerves are damaged, magnetic fields can actually help the nerves to regrow. There's an anti-inflammatory action of magnetic fields. You could reduce an area of inflammation, say for example an insect bite or a spider bite, or an inflammatory rash. You may be able to reduce that by the use of magnetic fields. If magnetic fields cause significant reduction in muscle activity, so if you have any tension in muscle or spasm of muscle, including spasm of blood vessels, you can open up that spasm by treating the area with magnetic field. I mentioned healing acceleration. Wounds heal faster with magnetic field. Some research with pulse field has shown that magnetic field treatment can accelerate the healing of injuries, wounds, abrasions, cuts by about a third the time that it normally takes. And that also includes fractures. Fractures can heal a third faster than they would normally heal simply by using a magnetic field. And the reason that happens is that the metabolic systems in the body are improved. The charge at the area of the injury, the site of the injury, is improved, and so by changing the charge, you increase the healing process, you accelerate the healing process. You can reduce swelling, edema. You can even reduce edema or swelling from lymph as well as blood vessels bursting and just the normal swelling that you get from an injured, say, for example, muscle or tissue. Bruising is reduced. Research has shown that bruising is decreased with magnetic fields. Magnetic fields act significantly on the acupuncture system. I mentioned that already, and a lot of the actions of magnets, if they happen very rapidly, are probably due to acupuncture effects. One of the things magnetic fields do is they can significantly reduce the clotting system. They can give the same benefit to the clotting system as you get from taking a half of an adult aspirin. Magnetic fields significantly affect inflammation, and that has to be actually considered when you treat somebody with significant inflammation, because you can actually temporarily increase the inflammation. It can take 2 to 3 days of treatment with the magnetic system before the inflammation starts to decrease. It can take 2 or 3 days for the body's own superoxide dismutase, which is a powerful antioxidant in the body itself that the body produces to actually crank up in response to the increased circulation that the magnetic field generates. That then causes healing. But you may have to temporarily go through an increase in inflammation in order to have that healing process happen. And with that, I'm going to stop and just talk a little bit about the QRS itself and what's unique about it. The QRS has had extensive European use. It uses 3 fixed frequencies that repeat themselves over and over again. That's unique. There aren't any other magnetic systems that I'm aware of that do that, certainly not with these types of precise frequencies. You have the ability to treat not only the whole body in one simple application, but you also can provide local therapy. It's also a very gentle field. It's designed specifically for health maintenance purposes. It can help people with problems, but the primary design feature of the system is to be very gentle and to be able to be used by individuals in their own home setting for the rest of their lives. It's a very flexible instrument because you can change the setting, you can change the strength of the field that you use, as well as to be able to affect or change the amount of times that you treat the individual. It's very simple to use, very easy to use. There are basically 3 frequencies. I won't go into them very much, but there are 3 frequencies built into the system. One is 3 hertz, which causes 3 cycles per second, which causes relaxation. One is 23 cycles per second, which helps to break up or counteract the effects of electrosmog. Electrosmog is all the cell phones, microwaves, everything else that's out in the air that mankind has produced. It's not natural at all. It does not exist in nature. So this system, does provide a feature that helps to block out that kind of energy. The final one is a 200 cycle per second signal, which helps to, and that's a double sawtooth pattern, which helps to promote healing. So the QRS has been found in a number of studies to have significant benefits on the body. A number of diseases and conditions have been evaluated, including numerous musculoskeletal problems, atherosclerosis, osteoporosis, tendinitis of the tissues, tumor healing, effects on vascular systems, improvement in blood flow with thermograms. And I think one of the things I do want to emphasize is their impact on the acupuncture system. For those of you who may be aware of a machine called the MSA, the Meridian Stimulation System or Assessment System, and several